No matter what you think of Donald Trump, it's hard not to notice his wife, Melania Trump, who's been an enigmatic presence beside him since before they tied the knot in 2005. People want to know what Melania is wearing, what her relationship with her husband is like, and how the former model stays looking her best. Many people think that Melania Trump has opted for cosmetic procedures to stay looking young, especially because Donald Trump reportedly had a scalp reduction to correct balding and maintains his complexion with heavy-handed spray tans. Has she gone under the knife or just had a few injections? Here's what we know. Melania was 28 when she met Donald Trump. Melania was born in 1970, so she was just 35 years old when she married Donald Trump in 2005. They had already known each other for several years at that point. As GQ puts it, when Donald and Melania first met in 1998, Melania Noes was 28, a tall, shy brunette whose face had yet to acquire the taut plasticine squint that makes it look as if cameras are forever catching her a second before a sneeze. Her eyes looked bigger than they do now. The skincare edit notes that back in the early 2000s, Melania Trump's eyes looked larger than they appear now. Nowhere is that more apparent than in this photo of Donald and Melania in 2002, watching the US Open tennis tournament. That was 3 years before the two would tie the knot at his Mar-a-Lago mansion in Florida. As Getty reported at the time, the carefully, if curiously coiffed Trump, 58, plans to tie the knot with his companion of 6 years, a Slovenian-Austrian beauty, 34, who keeps busy on the New York social scene. She may have started trying fillers in her early 30s. Around 2001 and 2002, several photos show the future Melania Trump with sculpted cheeks and plump lips, prompting some people to speculate that the future First Lady had started experimenting with injections such as Restylane. The way her cheeks jut out looks so much like Restylane, as do her plump glossy lips, the skincare edit notes. She was still in her early 30s at the time, but the publication adds perhaps she was an early adopter. Melania says that she didn't have a breast augmentation. GQ reports that Melania Trump scoffed when asked whether she had a breast augmentation. "I didn't make any changes," she explained in 2016, responding to rumours that during her modelling days she chose to undergo the procedure to get more lingerie jobs. Despite her denial, similar rumours would surface again, with the Express reporting in August 2018 that some people speculated that the First Lady had undergone a breast augmentation when the White House said she was being treated for a kidney condition. Some think she altered her nose. It was also in the early 2000s when the future Melania Trump began wearing her eye makeup like she does today, with darker colours and heavier application around her eyes than she chose when she was a little younger. The Skincare Edit reports that it's also around this time that the future First Lady may have opted to alter the shape of her nose. I suspect by this time she had probably altered her nose, the publication noted on a 2004 photo of Melania. Melania and Donald Trump got married in 2005. Melania married Donald Trump in January 2005, and shortly after that, the two made an appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscar party in West Hollywood. She may have been spray tanning and whitening her teeth, like her new husband, but the Skincare Edit doesn't think that she had had any cosmetic procedures around her eyes. There's movement around her eyes and a natural hollow underneath them, so I don't think she had touched that area so far, the publication explains. Her smile looked a lot more natural. In most photos taken of her today, Melania Trump doesn't seem to give the camera a very natural smile. Neither does her husband, to be fair. But in this photo from 2005, when Melania was attending the 250th anniversary celebration of luxury watch brand Vacheron Constantin, her smile looks pretty natural, without Botox or fillers preventing her from moving her face naturally. She gave birth to Barron in 2006. Melania Trump gave birth to her son Barron in 2006. The family was photographed at the beginning of 2007 at a ceremony when Donald Trump got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We don't know if Melania underwent any cosmetic procedures after she gave birth to Barron, but as the Washington Post reports, Donald Trump joked to Howard Stern that he would give Melania a week to look like she had pre-pregnancy after giving birth. Fortunately, he didn't seem serious. Melania adopted Donald Trump's habit of squinting at the camera. It wasn't until 2008 that Melania Trump adopted her husband's habit of squinting at the camera, the Skincare Edit reports. A photographer once told me that squinting is a good way to pose when you get your picture taken, if you're prone to the crazy-eyed, deer-in-the-headlights look, the publication notes. Pop Dust, on the other hand, thinks that an overzealous application of filler is the reason why she looks like she's squinting. Her face showed some signs of aging. Although many people think that Melania Trump has undergone cosmetic procedures to prevent or correct signs of aging, it's worth pointing out that as early as 2009 she did have some visible lines on her cheeks, but that's par for the course when you're approaching 40, right? Perhaps not in the Trump's world. She seemed to experiment with injectables. Though Melania Trump looked a lot more natural in the photograph of Barron, things seem to have changed by the time this photo was taken later in 2009. The Skincare Edit reports her cheeks looked more plump and her under eye area more full than they did in past photos. It also looks like Botox might have been injected in her forehead and around her lips and is preventing her from naturally smiling. Melania tried a different haircut. Melania Trump hasn't been shy about cutting or colouring her hair, and in 2011 she experimented briefly with shorter, blunter bangs than she usually wears. It's the same year that, according to the Skincare report, her face looked less tight, evidence that if she was using fillers, she gave them time to settle and look more natural. Some doctors think she's tried Botox. The Skincare Edit reports that the tightness in her eye area seems to suggest Botox. Similarly, the Express reports that according to the cosmetic doctor Dev Patel, who didn't treat the First Lady, Melania Trump has tried Botox. Patel explained, "I noticed the very obvious signs of likely Botox recently when watching her on a TV interview. She was given a rather personal account of her background, yet her upper face was not moving in harmony with her words. In fact, it was not moving at all. This suggests two heavy doses are being used by her doctor. The effects of Botox look great, but only when the result is more natural in appearance." But the First Lady says she is against injections. Since 2015 photo shows Melania Trump with more creases around her eyes and down her cheeks, perhaps indicating that she wasn't relying on fillers or Botox as much. In the 2016 interview with GQ, Melania Trump seemed to take a stand against cosmetic procedures. "A lot of people say I am using all the procedures for my face. I didn't do anything," she said. "I live a healthy life. I take care of my skin and my body. I'm against Botox. I'm against injections. I think it's damaging your face, damaging your nerves. It's all me. I will age gracefully as my mom does." Some people think she prepared for her move to DC with a round of procedures. The Skincare Edit reports that Melania Trump seems to continue dabbling in cosmetic procedures. In addition to Botox, Patel thinks that Melania has had a nose job. Another surgeon, Jag Chana, notes that comparing the earlier photo from when she is younger and the later life pictures, one can see that the nasal shape has changed. The doctors also think that she has used fillers to make her lips fuller. And Munir Somji agreed that Melania has probably had a rhinoplasty, forehead contouring with filler, Botox to lift her brows, buccal fat removed to slim her face, and fillers around her jawline.